Oh, I'm not too bad. Look what I've got just for you.
Let me see. How do I...
Oh. I'm just going to make sure that you're on Spotlight. Okay, so you are on Spotlight. Oh, why is he on mute? Because it shouldn't be. Sorry, bear with us. For some reason, you're muted. We got you.
There we go.
Ah, perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. So is it your last? Is it your last day of quarantine today?
Yeah, I've got like I just got my second negative COVID test.
Nice.
So I've got I get out of here technically. So the way they do it is when you land, they start the stopwatch, and exactly 14 days later. So I landed at like 5:37 a.m. So technically I can get out of here at 5:37 a.m. tomorrow. But I've asked to let me sleep in for a little bit. I'm like, well, because I can't go check into my other hotel at 5:30 in the damn morning. So I don't even know where I'm going yet.
Oh, really? No.
I'm sure they emailed me, but I'm just too dumb to look it up.
So we're waiting on a few more fans, but we're gonna get started.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Hi everybody. How's everybody doing?
they're all on mute, but they're chomping at the bit to be able to ask some questions.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we are gonna start with Gina. So Gina, we're just gonna unmute you, and Gina is in. Oh, Gina, I can't remember where you're in. And
I'm in Houston.
That's right, you're in Houston.
Yes. Good old Houston.
I've been reading since during quarantine. I started a book called The Wayfaring Stranger, and it's a lot of it is set in Houston. So I've been thinking about Houston a lot randomly over the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hot and humid here.
Is it still?
Still, unfortunately.
What time is it there? Let's with the 5. You guys are 5 hours ahead, 6 hours ahead here.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock
at night on Saturday.
On Saturday, yes.
Got it.
But my question to you is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live and why?
This is going to be a weird response, but
okay.
I'm really liking it in this hotel room right now.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I thought I was going to hate this quarantine. I kind of fucking love it. They deliver food to you 3 times a day. I was able to rent, or as they say in New Zealand, I was able to hire an exercise bike. And so I can at least move a little bit, and I'm doing stuff that I never would take the time to do when you have the ability to do it. Like I've been reading books I would have never got to, catching up with some people that I haven't talked to in a while. And the best part about it is, if you don't want to talk to anybody, you just turn off the Wi-Fi and they can't get a hold of you. It's great.
That's great.
No, I that's kind of a joke. I think as I've gotten, I grew up I'm from Michigan originally. I'm from Detroit, and so I consider that kind of home. But I also grew up in Colorado. I went back and forth between the two. I grew up in the mountains, and the older that I get, I want to be back in the mountains. I believe. Actually, I'm on Zillow right now looking at places. Nice. That's what I've been doing all morning.
Nice.
So I haven't figured out which mountain town that I want to be in, but I do want to have a place. So it's kind of come down to, I think Aspen's ideal. I'm partial to Colorado because of I grew up there, and Aspen, the airport is so close to the town that it makes it desirable, especially if I'm not going to live there full time. But Aspen is expensive, so so I don't know. My quest in the next few years is to figure out where I have a lot of friends that are in the Jackson Hole area.
Wyoming.
Yeah, which I've still never even been to, but I look at places online there all the time. And then also in Glacier National Park up in Montana. But the answer is I believe I just like, the older I get, the more I kind of want to be in the mountains and I guess go back to my roots a little bit. But yeah, the why part is, I think right now, once I got my dog, it's changed my life so much. It's like, now I guess I'm going to spoil my children because I spoil my dog, and he likes being in the mountains so much that it just makes me happy watching him run around in the mountains. After living in LA for 20 plus years now, I put my time in the city, and I'm excited to get out in the mountains at some point. But maybe I'm going to want to move to New Zealand now that I'm down here. I don't know.
Yay!
A lot of Americans that are looking at it. After those debates a couple weeks or last week, there was a crazy amount of Google searches of Americans looking to move to New Zealand. I don't know if you saw that. I got a ton of people sending me those articles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, good to know. Thanks, Geoff.
Yeah. So if you find me a place in the mountains, let me know.
I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
So Geoff, I'd love to know, so what's one thing that you really would love to do while you're in New Zealand?
I've years ago I did a TV show with the great Sam Neill of New Zealand's #1 son, and he's got a winery down there in the South Island called Two Paddocks, and I've been wanting to come here for 10 years to visit, and now that I'm here, I definitely am going to do that. Sam, unfortunately, I may miss him because he's in the UK right now filming Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. And I talked to him yesterday, and they got shut down because of COVID. So he's on a bit of a delay. So I'm not sure if I'll still be here when he gets back. But I still think I'm going to go down and check out his place. It looks like Lord of the Rings every time I see his posts. And I've never heard one person say a negative thing about New Zealand. Nobody does. All the people I know just talk about how beautiful it is and how nice the people are. Now, I only know the people in the hotel, but so starting tomorrow, we're going to get out there and check it out.
Cool. And are you making your way down to, so I live in Rotorua. Are you making your way down the North Island or?
For sure, I've got to look. I'm going to look up. How do you spell it?
So ROTO.
Okay.
RUA.
Oh yeah.
So we're the place that people know smells like rotten eggs. To be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh, because of the geysers.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. And we've got redwoods, you've got everything. You've got for mountain bikers, adrenaline junkies. Yeah.
It looks beautiful, yeah. And how far away is that from Auckland?
It's about 2.5 hours. So, yep. If you need a tour, there's plenty of us who will give you a tour. And we are right on the lake. And yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lake? It's not the ocean?
Yeah, no, it's the lake. It's a
big ass lake.
Yeah. So it's
there it is. There's a big view of it. It's beautiful.
It's renowned for the redwoods. So you'll have to check it out. It's a place to definitely a place to come and check out.
I gotta do it. Yeah, I want to rent a motorcycle and cruise around and check out the island.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So now we've got a question from Julie, who is in New York, and she's a teacher's assistant. So Julie will
in New York.
Yeah, I'm in upstate New York, where there's nothing. Huh?
How you doing?
I'm good. Put it this way: from March to the end of August, I was in California during the whole pandemic. So I was kind of bored out of my mind. We didn't leave the house.
Yeah, I get that.
And then I had to come back to New York to work. So I work in a high school of handicapped children, and there's only 10 of us in the whole high school.
Where are you at? I want to Google it.
It's called Rome, New York. Rome. Outside of Syracuse.
Got it. I did a movie about Syracuse football team years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did I lose? Okay, there. What's happening? So is it cold there yet?
It is on and off. It was 70 today, and I think it just started raining. But it was like yesterday, 50 the day before. It's weird. But I have a weird question for you.
Perfect.
What was it like filming Seventh Heaven with your brother?
Oh, you know what? I miss those days. I mean, at the time, you don't know that that's such a rare opportunity to get to play brothers with your real life brother. But we had so much fun, and we were young and stupid. We're still stupid, but we really had a good time. I mean, we were living together and hanging out together and working together, and just we're 16 months apart, so we've always been really close. So I miss that. The show was like, creatively, I didn't get to do a lot of exciting stuff. The show was just kind of a sweet, nice show, but
yeah,
I loved the job. It was a great opportunity. The people was on for 11 years. So those people kind of, the young Mackenzie and Jessica Biel and Beverly, Barry and David, they grew up together. I mean, they really went through their youth together. So it was when George and I think I came in season 6 and then George season 7 or something like that. So yeah, we just kind of joined a bit of a family. We loved it.
Yeah.
It was a great fun show, and people could watch it with their kids, and it was one of the last like real family type shows. So I miss it. I wish I could. My brother and I actually just did a short right before I came, a couple months ago, I guess, and it was the first time that we've worked together since Seventh Heaven. So it was fun to do. It was just like a friend's short film. It was kind of a little bit of a horror thing, but yeah, it remind us of the good old days.
Cool.
I miss it.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy. Thank you for being a teacher. Teachers need to get. My mom's a teacher. She actually works at a school with handicapped kids as well. So I understand what you're going through. It's quite it makes an already challenging profession even that much harder. So you deserve a lot of thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah.
Geoff, my next question for you is, who do you admire and why?
Whew. I mean, there's so many people. Who do I admire? I mean, I'll stick with it because we already talked about it, but as in my career and in my life, Sam Neill's been big for me, because at the time I met him, it was the first time that I was a lead on a television show, and I was out of my depth, and didn't know what I was doing, and just exhausted. And I thought, just like, as long as I knew my lines, I was doing my job, and there's just so much more to it. And Sam could see that and took it upon himself to take me under his wing and kind of teach me how to be a little bit of an actor, and also how to be just a good guy. I would describe Sam as the most gentlemanly gentleman that I've ever met in period, not just as an actor, but he would take care of me. He knew that I was working every day and kind of get my ass kicked with the hours. So he would, I'd get home. We lived in buildings across from each other. I'd get home and there'd be a note on my door, a text message saying, "Come over, I cooked you dinner." And I would just, because he knew I was just beat up. So yeah, I admire him. He took care of me. He's a great guy. I mean, like, if I want to talk about sports people, yeah, guys like, like, you got to admire Oh, speaking of sports, man, I've been
netball?
trying to learn netball.
Yeah.
and I've been trying to learn. Today, I don't even know if you call it, if it's rugby or football, footy. I'm so confused. There's so many different ones, even from last night, tonight. Now, I know the All Blacks are playing today at 4. I'm going to try to catch that, see if I can understand it. So that's my goal in the next few months of being here, is to learn what the hell's going on there. So, but yeah, as far as somebody that in my career that I admire, Sam Neill's, I would certainly say Sam Neill. I got to work with Chris Hemsworth, and he's a little more of a contemporary. He's my age, or he's a couple years younger than me, but I admire him. I mean, he's a big time movie star, and he treated everybody the same, and he was great to be around and enjoyable. And if there was ever anybody that could have, got away with being an asshole because he's such a big star, it would be him. But he certainly wasn't. I mean, he's a hard worker. He's good to everyone. He made that movie set enjoyable to be on. So I always, when people are just, maybe it says something about our business when people are getting, complimented for just being a decent person. Well, and when that's just probably that should be the first criteria anyway, but it doesn't always happen that way. So he's been, guys like Chris, I think deserve a lot of credit for just being good dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, I watched 12 Strong when it came out a couple of years ago, and then when Nancy said, "Yeah, I can talk to you," I rewatched it a couple of nights ago. Such an amazing movie.
Yeah, that was the last time I've had a beard, is when I did that movie. So this beard is really creeping me out here. Now that I'm looking at it in the mirror, it's like, holy shit! And it's like, God, it's thick and gray now. Damn it.
And as for the netball, you will have to try, if you're here for a couple of months, you'll have to try indoor netball. So guys and girls can play, and it's very physical when you've got the guys and girls playing. It's very fast paced. It's it's amazing. So I work at a school, and the two people who are helping me here today, they also work at the same school. And we're a very competitive bunch. So we always have after school get-togethers with football or rugby or basketball or netball. And there's always broken bones or sprained ankles and things. But
in netball, there's broken bones?
Oh, well, if you're playing against guys with So, but no, so you will...
I get the sprained ankles. It looks like there's a lot of opportunity for that. But and watching this fucking rugby, man, these guys are just... And girls, I've seen a couple... They're killing each other.
Yeah, no, it's and then for us, when we watch the American football with the big pads, but our guys don't. Yeah, no, so no helmets, no pads. And it seems like American football has more injuries. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing wrong? Yeah. No. Cool. So our next question we have is from Elizabeth, who is in Texas. And she's Texas.
Hi. My connection's unstable. Sorry. Okay. All right. I got to pick a favorite.
Go ahead.
Did you before, and will you ever again partake of another juice box after your quarantine experience? And if so, what flavor?
I think I'm gonna take a little break from juice boxes after this. Yeah, I got plenty of them in me. But the orange and apple is my favorite flavor. I think I think I've had enough of these. But they are good. They are good. They've gotten me through it. But man, I'm ready. Honestly, I'm ready for a beer. I'm gonna get out of here and have a beer tomorrow.
Elizabeth, did you want to ask another question?
Yeah, you can get another one out of that deal.
Get another one.
Okay. Do you have any aspirations to like direct or write?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. Yes, directing. I think not as much. I do just a couple things. I've got a handful of things that are sort of in, as we say, in development right now. my partner and I adapted. I found an article in a New York magazine last year, and we optioned that, meaning we bought the rights to that article, and we've adapted a screenplay out of it. And we actually just turned it into Amazon. Our partners on it have a deal at Amazon, so we have to go to them first. And we're just, I keep looking at my phone, wondering if they read the damn thing yet. So yeah, directing, I think, is something that interests me, but that'll come later in the right situation. First, I want to be a little more active in the writing and producing part of my career. So I have a number of things that I'm working on right now. My partner and I wrote a kids kind of like a Goonies type adventure series thing. We've been kicking that around for a little while. So my interests are all over the place as far as what inspires me creatively. But yes, I do. The directing is a little scary. The thing about directing that I don't like is I don't want to edit. I don't like the minutia of being, it's all the shooting and all that and communicating. That sounds great. But then what happens after it's done, when you got to sit in there and with an editor, and that part is, I don't know. I'm not ready for that. I don't have the patience for that. I hope that answered your question. Oh, I think I think you're frozen, Elizabeth.
I think she's frozen.
My connection is ripped up. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I hope did you hear everything?
I didn't.
Oh, you'll have to
I'm sorry.
rewatch it. It's all been recorded, and you'll have to rewatch it.
I'll do that. Thank you, Geoff.
Of course.
Geoff, what is your favorite quote? Have you got one?
Nobody owes you anything.
Oh, that's on your Instagram.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So just work hard, basically.
Basically, it's just a cooler way of saying get off your ass.
Yeah.
And work hard. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, so somebody who's watching this on YouTube just said that you will have to watch the Bledisloe Cup is on this afternoon. So that's between the Australians and the New Zealanders in rugby.
Oh yeah. Is that the All Blacks?
That is the All Blacks, yes. So,
yeah, I looked that up. I think it's at 4:00, I believe. So yeah, I am going to check that out. I'm going to be very confused, but I'm going to watch it. I've always heard of these All Blacks. It's something you hear about in the States, but I've never seen a game. And the size of these dudes, the way they hit each other is unbelievable. And
there's very much a love-hate relationship between Australia and New Zealand, so it's always fantastic to watch.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I actually watched a replay last night of that was on late last night of the last time they played, and you could tell they wanted to beat each other pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. So Geoff, we're going to come back to Gina. So Gina, what's your other question?
Yes, my other question is, what was your most memorable role?
I think as far as fun, I really liked a show I did called The Finder. It was Michael Clark Duncan and I, and I love that experience. That role he was so goofy, and I named my dog after that character actually. He was just goofy, and he could kind of get away with doing anything, and it was a fun twist on like just like sort of he wasn't really a detective. He was a weird guy that found stuff, and we were playing with the idea that he had a little bit of a brain injury, so he acted a little odd at times. So, and also Michael Clark Duncan kind of played the straight guy, and he was just a blast to be around. So as far as a role, that was my favorite role and experience I've had. We talk about all the time, the creator of that show and I talk all the time about possibly bringing that show back, and I would be 100% into it. We have to kind of figure out, there's some legality involved it was owned by Fox, but Fox is now bought by Disney. So it's like, who owns the damn show? But we'll see. It might happen one day. But I loved it. Yeah.
Good to know. Thanks, Geoff.
Mm-hmm.
I love that show as well, Geoff. I remember watching it many years ago. It was a cool show.
Yeah, that's when I didn't have gray beard.
Hey, so what's the best piece of advice that you've been given?
Oh, man, this is going to be so silly, but when I was a youngster, I thought I was going to be a real athlete, and then I realized I wasn't a good athlete. I was a big fish in a small pond growing up in Colorado. But I remember one time I had a really big game. I scored a bunch of touchdowns, and the news came and interviewed me, and that was a big deal in a small town. And I was all over the newspaper. And then the next week, I had probably the worst game of my life. And my coach came down to me at halftime, and he said, "Well, this is a lesson. It's a quick trip from the penthouse to the outhouse." And that, what he meant by that was, you're only as good as your last game, and you can't rely on your success from another time. And I think that is translated into a lot of things in my life. I mean, everybody is an actor. Everybody in life, I think, there's an ebb and flow, and certainly in a career. There's a lot of things as an actor that you absolutely can't control. Like a show like The Finder, people was well received, and the people that watched it loved it, but it still ended up getting canceled. So I couldn't control that. I could just control what was on the page. So and then you're really kind of like, there's an old saying when I first moved to Hollywood: you show me an actor who's the lead of a television show this year, I'll show you 10 guys that are sitting at Starbucks waiting for a call from their agent a year from now with 10 canceled TV shows. And that's the truth. So I think my career as an athlete taught me how to handle the humility of how humbling the entertainment industry is when you're hot, and when you're not, you are absolutely not. And that's part of it. So I think that has helped me have a long career. And hopefully I keep working. You never know. You just never know when your last job, when your next job's coming from. Before this job in New Zealand came up, I had no idea when my next job was going to be.
Oh, so just because you've mentioned it, can we ask? So you're here for a job?
Yeah. Nobody told me not to say anything.
Okay,
so,
cool. Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm not supposed to, but
we'll cut it out. If you're not allowed to, we'll edit this bit out.
It's fine. It's a Netflix show called Cowboy Bebop. It's based on a Japanese anime called Cowboy Bebop. So starting tomorrow, I head off to do hair and makeup. They had called me and asked me to grow out my beard, and I think they're going to shave it just to a mustache. But I didn't want to grow out a mustache by itself. I thought that was going to look a little weird.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So we are going to come back to Julie. Julie, what was your other question? We'll just unmute you. There
That
you go.
was my other question. I have an off question that I didn't ask, but
Go ahead.
It's possible. When you worked with Parker in Enlisted, how fun was that for you?
That guy's the biggest jackass I've ever met. Yeah, he's such a sweetheart, that kid. He's a good. He's like a little brother to me. He's still, guys, I gotta go plug my phone in here. So let me switch my location. Where the heck is my charger? Sorry, you're gonna get a close view of my beard real quick. Yeah, I loved working with Parker. He's he was like, honestly, like he really took it seriously. He's a bit of a method actor, so he really convinced himself that we were brothers, and he treated me like I was his big brother. He would never leave my side. He was like my damn dog. But Parker's doing well. He's actually in the middle of shooting his own he got his own sitcom right now in Los Angeles. They just started rehearsals this week.
He was very nice to me during the quarantine.
He's really funny and he's a goofball, but like in a good way.
Yeah,
he's a real jackass. I'm being honest. He really is. Yeah. Sorry. Okay? There we go. Yeah, he's a good guy.
So I can tell him that you said that he's a jackass then.
100% you can. You can say he's yeah. So now as he's gotten older and he's got a baby and he's growing up a little bit, I like to try to do the stuff to him that he did to me to annoy me back then. So now he learns what an asshole he really was, what an annoying little brother he was. So I get him back now as we get older. I act like the little brother. I make him pay for my drinks. He's got the job right now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Thanks, Julie. So we're coming up to 30 minutes. So Elizabeth, you get to ask the lucky last question. I'll just unmute you. There you go.
Okay. I think you've answered every question I can think of. Do you FaceTime with Walter P., the dog?
Every day.
That's awesome.
I'll show you what I got here.
Where'd he go?
Oh, he's going to get something.
Grab something.
Okay.
Oh.
I got all these pictures printed out of him.
Oh my God, I love it.
So I FaceTime with him every day, and it's been weird. This is the longest stretch that I've ever been away from him. So it's when he hears my voice, he goes a little crazy. It's the only thing I was worried about, coming over here and being gone this long, just because I'm with him every day. I love that guy. That dog runs my life. But yeah, I miss him. But he'll be okay. He's well taken care of. He's got a good group taking care of him back home. He's fucking spoiled, that dog. He's fine. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cool.
Anybody else that hasn't had a chance to ask anything before we go? I'm happy to hang out for a little bit if anybody else has anything.
Well,
the kids in the back of the class?
The kids in the back of the class. Actually, so there was a lady who's she is in Canada. Sorry, I'm just reading my emails. And she's still at work and she's trying to get here. But I'll ask her question just in case. She said that she'd be here like right now, but she's not here. And I'm going to feel stink if she arrives and I've just asked her question, but so her...
I'll pretend like I didn't hear it.
Oh, brilliant. Hold on, I'll just find it. It's... her one was, what was your favourite experience on the Grace and Frankie set?
Oh, by far, I just remember Martin Sheen, who's just a legend, that guy's he's a legend. And listening to him talk and tell stories about the old days, he talked about, I can't remember which one of his sons, if it was Charlie or if it was, I can't remember which one, but he and his wife, I think were renting an old lighthouse somewhere on the East Coast, and that's where the son was born. And he's just talking about how, back in the day, the way they did stuff, and that guy's worked with some of the best actors of all time. He's been around for a while. He's forgotten more stuff about the business than I'll ever know. So it was fun to be around him. And Jane Fonda's she's 76,
Crazy.
75, and she's a force. She knew every one of her lines, every one of my lines, everybody's lines. She took her job very seriously. And just showed up every day, and she was lovely to be around. That show was particularly warm and inviting, and the people that were the regulars on there really really were like a family. And obviously I got to work with Brooklyn Decker, and that didn't suck. She's beautiful and fun, and I've been pretty lucky in my life to work with some good people and some lovely co-stars. So that's all you can kind of ask for as an actor. If you get to go to work and do something you like with people that you like, then that's a win. That's a big win. And then if it turns out great, that's just gravy on top, because you can't always control that stuff. You can make an educated guess, but Grace and Frankie was a fun one. I'm glad I got to do that. Yeah.
Cool. So I guess you've obviously done a bit of research about New Zealand. Is there anything that you have read or heard that happens here that you're like, no, there's no way I'm going to try that, or there's no way I'm going to do that?
No, I mean, not yet. I've been watching, I hate to keep bringing his damn name up. You can think I'm stalking him, but Sam Neill's got a show on the History Channel. He retraces Captain Cook's path throughout New Zealand. So I didn't even know it existed, and I saw a commercial for it here. So I've been watching it, and I thought it was great for me. Obviously, I'm learning a lot about the history of New Zealand and Captain Cook and what a kind of footprint he has here. But it shows a lot of different locations that I now want to go check out. So I've been writing. They're in the other room, but I've been writing them down. But there's nothing really. I'm excited that some of the guys here in the quarantine hotel, if you go down to I don't smoke, but there's a smoking section. People can go out and be there all the time. So sometimes I just go outside and stand there and talk to the damn smokers and pretend like I'm smoking, so I can go outside. But one of the guys is talking about some of the good New Zealand beers I got to try. So I'm excited to try that out. I'm 2 years ago, or I guess just a little bit over 2 years ago, I made a bet with my brother to see who could be a vegetarian the longest, and neither one of us has broke. So that's kind of a bummer, because I know there's if I was a meat eater, there's a lot of good things to eat down here, which kind of bums me out. But I got to win the bet. I got to win. So
competitive.
I'll drink beer instead.
So you'll be up for the skydiving, the bungee jumping, the adventure type, yeah?
I would skydive again. I don't know that I'm interested in bungee jumping again. I feel like I've done it twice, and I feel like maybe my luck. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough. Skydiving, I'd like to do. Yeah. You got a backup chute at least. And there's no backup freaking bungee cord. So I don't know. And I'm getting a little older. I don't know the bungee. Maybe it'll snap me.
I was watching. You were doing. I can't remember the name of it, but with Zac Efron, and you were training in the. Yeah. So you run.
Zach's a good buddy. I got to know him through his brothers. I did a movie a few years ago called Interesting. I can't remember. Oh, it's called Unforgettable. Ironically, it's very forgettable. And I was going to call it Unforgiven, but no. It was with Rosario Dawson and Katherine Heigl. And the assistant to the producer was Zach's little brother, Dylan. And so Dylan and I became friends, and he's a great athlete, and he's a competitor. We do triathlons. He's smaller and faster and younger than me, that asshole. But that's how we became friends, and therefore I became friends with Zach that way. They're good kids. Zach's a big star, but he's just a normal guy.
Yeah. And there was a couple of more people who. A question from Sheila, who was from the Philippines, but I'm not quite sure why she didn't join up. But one of her questions were, what's your top 3 favorite movies?
A River Runs Through It, Caddyshack, and Whew. Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. Ah, okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a river run through it, so I'll have to add it to my watching list.
Oh, it's so good. It's a young Brad Pitt and oh gosh, I forget the other guy's name. It's good. It's it's about
Good
two
movie.
brothers. It's beautiful. It's about kind of like the backdrop is fly fishing in the mountains in Montana, and the story of two brothers. It's great.
Cool.
I just had a crush. I got a crush on Brad Pitt.
Ah, okay.
I don't think I'm the only one.
No. William Moseley was talking about how he would get up at 4 a.m. just to have a Zoom conversation with him. So he was a big fan with him as well. So yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Hey Geoff, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
for chatting. It's been awesome.
This has been fun. I appreciate you doing it. How do you pronounce your full name?
So it's Belinda Connolly Tevendale. So Connolly and Tevendale, Scottish and Irish, and
Yeah.
and I'm half Filipino. So go figure. But yeah.
I'll tell you one quick story. My whole life, my middle name is McNerney. My whole family were Irish, and I actually at the time was part owner of an Irish bar in Los Angeles. And just Irish. We were freaking Irish. And then we went to a family reunion, and my aunt, my great aunt, had spent the last couple of years doing our family tree and all that. And there's like, I'm in Michigan for the summer with the family reunion at my uncle's farm, and there's like Irish flags flying. And she said, "All right, everybody sit down. We are not Irish. We're Scottish." So I never knew that. But so I'm Scottish and not Irish, evidently. Or we're Scot-Irish, I guess. Originally, my mom's side of the family is the Sheehys, but originally they were the Mac Sheehys from Scotland, and then they lost the Mac at some point. And anyway, so I get it. I saw the Connolly. I'm like, you don't look very Irish to me, but
Yeah, no. So I'm a half Kiwi and half Filipino, and a mix.
That's great. Well, it was nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for getting me through my last day of quarantine. I enjoyed it. Thanks for your questions. And all right. Well,
thank you. Yeah.
We'll see you soon. I'll be here for a couple months, so if you want to do it again, I'm happy to do it again, Belinda.
Absolutely. And if you do get down to Rotorua, let me know. We're a school of 700, and I'm sure the kids we would love to have a game of something. So, yeah. And
I can watch a little netball in person.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, but you'd have to join in. So,
I guess that's true. I'll get myself killed. It'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. But, it'd be entertainment for us. So, yeah. Cool. I just want to also, thank you very much for those people who joined in today. And I've got my friends who are helping out, who I couldn't have done this because they're the technological people behind this. So thank you to Karen and Shelly as well. So
way to go, Karen and Shelly.
Yeah, absolutely. More teachers. Yep. Yeah. Okay, Geoff, thank you very much.
Bye, guys. Have a good
See you
day.
guys. Bye.